One is light. One is shadow. Both are coming. Choose with your spirit, not your ache. They both speak your name in the dark, one in worship, one in warning. You're the battleground for two fates. The choice is yours, but the timing isn't. One carries truth. The other carries karma. They arrive together. Two souls remembered you at the same hour. One will break you. One will build you. They're not fighting for you. They're fighting for who you become when you're with them. One brings closure. One brings chaos. God is watching who you welcome. You called for love. God sent two mirrors, one whole, one haunted. You were promised peace. But before peace, there is the test. Both know your softness. Only one can hold your storm. One was your lesson. One is your legacy. They both dreamt of you last night. One wept. The other vowed. God whispered your name to both. Only one stayed awake to listen. One returns to repay. The other returns to reclaim. They come with hands open, but not all hands are healing. You lit a flame in each, but only one became fire. One loved your body. The other saw your soul. One is on their knees. One is still lying. They arrive together. One to test. One to prove. The universe always gives a choice before a shift. Your name is written on two hearts. Only one will carry it clean. One brings unfinished karma. The other divine alignment. They're closer than you think. But so is clarity. One will apologize. One will anoint. You'll feel safe with both. But peace doesn't mean purpose. Both know your past. Only one sees your future. You once begged for their love. Now they beg for yours. One comes with a gift. One comes with a ghost. They're not here to confuse you. They're here to awaken you. You weren't forgotten. You were studied. God didn't send them at once by accident. This is divine separation through divine arrival. One speaks your language. The other speaks your wound. You're not the same soul they left. Let them meet the fire. They both changed, but not all change is rebirth. You'll see them and remember pain, but feel power. One brings home. One brings hunger. They return not because you need them, but because they need redemption. One will break generational chains. One will bind them tighter. You called them in with your tears. Your strength will choose who stays. One will try to finish the story. The other came to begin a new one. They're both haunted by you, but only one is healed enough to stay. Love returns in two forms, sacred or seductive. Choose with your spirit. You will not have to chase clarity. You'll feel it in their silence. One brings flowers. One brings roots. They both felt your absence, but only one honored it. One thinks you owe them. The other sees you as holy. You once feared losing them. Now they fear losing you. The one who watched you break now watches you bloom. One holds regret. The other holds revelation. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Comment your favorite quote and subscribe for more. Two souls are moving. One to love you. One to test you. Heaven is watching which one you'll choose. The one you prayed for and the one who cursed you, both are coming. Prepare your discernment like armor. Not every return is a rescue. Some are traps wrapped in old kisses. Both said your name last night, one with tears, one with power. You feel them tugging at your spirit because your destiny splits at their arrival. They want the same heart, one to cherish, one to conquer. One comes with flowers. One comes with chains. Don't open your door to memory. They'll say the same words, but only one speaks from repentance. Hell sends decoys. Heaven sends delays. Learn the difference. Both know what you carry. One wants to heal it. One wants to steal it. One will call it fate. One will call it forgiveness. Listen to what your scars say. This isn't romance. It's a spiritual battle in disguise. One is your lesson. One is your legacy. You were always the treasure. That's why two are coming at once. They're not fighting for you. They're fighting for what God put inside you. One has changed. The other is pretending. Don't be moved by tears. Be moved by presence. They'll speak your language. One learned it through love. The other studied your wounds. One lost you and woke up. The other lost control and wants it back. You'll be tempted to run back. But you were never meant to be caught. The one who comes quietly may be the one who heard God speak. They're both kneeling, but only one truly surrendered. Your name is echoing in two hearts tonight. Heaven's waiting to see which one you'll answer. You're the prayer they both remembered, but only one was meant to hold the answer. The counterfeit always comes first. One has your soul's rhythm, the other your trauma's map. Both remember the way to you. Only one deserves it. God is sending clarity. The enemy is sending nostalgia. Your healing is making you magnetic, even to the ones who once destroyed you. The past and the future are both knocking. Only one leads home. They studied your silence. They heard your name in a storm. Someone's dreams are haunted by your eyes. The other's nightmares are filled with your strength. You were always the prophecy they ran from. Now they're both returning to it. One has God's timing. The other has good timing. Two are coming. One will heal the child in you. One will try to own it. You're not choosing love. You're choosing destiny. Both will call it love. Only one will leave you whole. God made your presence sacred. Don't treat it like a second chance. One learned from losing you. The other learned how to lose you again. A return isn't always reconciliation. They see you glowing now. One sees light. The other sees opportunity. Two timelines. Two touches. One divine. One dangerous. When they arrive, don't let your loneliness choose. They both remember your softness. Only one respects it now. Your silence is loud in their spirit tonight. They're coming to confess, not to commit. Be wise. One comes because they missed you. The other comes because they lost control. Love isn't who comes back. It's who stays changed. The enemy always sends, and almost before the appointed one appears. You're not hard to love. You were just trying to love, broken timing. Two voices will whisper your name. Only one holds the echo of truth. Their return isn't proof. Their consistency is. Be cautious. Familiar doesn't mean safe. One wants your peace. The other wants your reaction. Your healing intimidated the one who once had power over you. Both will touch your heart. One will anoint it. The other will bruise it. You deserve love that doesn't have to come back to find you. This time, don't respond to longing. Respond to alignment. One will write you poems. The other will write you plans. They want your attention. God wants your discernment. Love that returns must come with evidence, not excuses. Someone is preparing to say everything they never did. You are not a halfway home for indecision. One returns to heal. The other returns to repeat. Not everyone who misses you deserves access again. They remember how deeply you loved. Now they're wondering if they still have a place. One wants your light. The other wants your shadow to crawl back. Your soul already knows which one is sacred. Trust it. They're both watching you shine. One sees destiny. One sees opportunity. You are not the same person who once begged to be chosen. One will knock with apology. One will barge in with entitlement. They come holding stories, but you remember the silence. You were the truth they both avoided. Now they can't stop chasing it. One brings flowers. The other brings fire. Don't mistake the flame for warmth. You are their mirror, and it terrified them. They called you delusional. Now they call you destiny. One watched you break. The other watched you bloom. Both want access to what they never planted. You loved like eternity. They answered like a delay. Their absence taught you reverence. The past has a scent. Don't inhale what once suffocated you. Both want forgiveness. Only one is ready to live worthy of it. You stopped begging, and that summoned their return. You healed in silence. They're returning to interrupt it. One carries your name in prayer. The other speaks it in regret. They underestimated what God was growing in your grief. Some return out of guilt, others out of grace. 2 timelines knock. Choose the one that feels like peace. They were warned about you. That's why they're coming in fear and fire. You are a soul riddle only one can truly answer. The one you cried for is coming. So is the one you outgrew. One seeks redemption. The other seeks control. You're not here to be chosen. You're here to be recognized. They will not understand how you became this holy. One prayed for another chance. The other prayed you'd forget. You're a doorway. Not everyone deserves to enter. Your spirit is the inheritance. That's why they're racing to reach you. One is still holding secrets. Both remember your name, but only one remembers your soul. They couldn't handle your love. Now they're addicted to your silence. The one who left now dreams of staying. They don't know what you know, but they feel it. Your love created a version of them they now miss. One returns because of light. One returns because of lack. They're watching your timeline from the shadows. Your no is now more powerful than your yes ever was. They didn't expect you to rise. You became the one they told you didn't exist. One will fight for you. The other will fight with you. They can't find anyone like you because God only made one. You were a divine interruption in their darkness. Both crave your closeness. Only one understands its cost. You were always more than memory. You were prophecy. Their arrival isn't random, it's written. One returns to crown you. The other returns to cage you. They felt your release. That's why they're circling back. Your healing made you too expensive for their old patterns. Both are whispering to the stars about you. Don't mistake longing for alignment. They were your storm. Now you are your shelter. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Comment your favorite quote and subscribe for more. 2 are watching your light. Only one wants to protect it. The one who ghosted now dreams of your voice. God sent you peace. The enemy sent timing. Both want forgiveness. Only one truly repented. You were never hard to love. They just couldn't hold something holy. One seeks what you were. One sees who you are. Love doesn't return empty. It brings alignment or closure. They want what you've become, not what they left behind. One is sincere. The other is strategic. You are not the home for people who abandon their healing. One carries heaven's yes. The other carries history's weight. You broke in front of them. Now you rise where they can't reach. They both want you, but one can't hold who you've become. Your name still lingers in their guilt. They return not because you changed, but because they finally saw it. You were the peace they didn't know how to honor. One prayed to see you again. The other prayed to forget your strength. God separated you to protect the promise. They think you're waiting. You're sending. One comes with truth, the other with technique. You were their awakening, but not their destination. The door they closed no longer leads to you. You are not the punishment for their delay. The one who broke you wants a second chance. So does the one who builds now. They feel your detachment, and it terrifies them. Your spirit no longer fits their fantasy. You grew wings while they played with matches. One wants what you carry. The other wants to carry it with you. Both return. One carries you in their prayers. One carries you in their ego. You're not the same person who begged for closure. They remember the softness. God remembers the promise. Someone's heartbeat still skips at your name. Your no now echoes louder than your old yes. One had your presence. The other earned your future. They didn't lose you. They lost the version of you that begged to stay. One returns with empty hands. The other with open arms. Both miss your light. Only one wants to grow in it. Love that comes late must come clean. They remember your silence more than your words. You were always the divine mirror, not the muse. One comes to restore, the other to relive. God removed you to renew you. Both saw the fire. Only one bowed at the altar. You no longer shrink for access. They treated you like a phase. Now they call you fate. They didn't think you'd survive. Now they can't stop watching you live. One sees your worth. The other sees your wounds. You were not forgotten. You were being refined. Your growth is louder than their regrets. Love doesn't knock twice the same way. You gave the kind of love they weren't ready to receive. You became what they feared unreachable. Their absence was your alignment. One still holds space for you in prayer. Don't be seduced by the familiar. It failed you once. They didn't expect you to become the healed version of their regret. God is protecting your heart by revealing theirs. They're drawn to your frequency, but not all are meant to tune in. One comes with questions. One comes with answers. They remember your presence more than you remember their apology. You are not who they abandoned. You are who you resurrected. One returns to build with you. The other returns to feed on you. You are now too holy for what once broke you. They both dream of you. One wakes up in peace. One wakes up in panic. You became their consequence. Someone is rehearsing what they should have said years ago. They underestimated your silence. You were never a phase. You were a prophecy. They knew you'd rise. They just didn't think you'd rise without them. One carries alignment. The other carries aftermath. You're not a test anymore. You are the result. Their desire doesn't equal your destiny. They feel your detachment like hunger. The one who returns will speak, but watch their patterns, not their poetry. You outgrew their fantasy and became your own reality. They thought you were waiting. You were healing. One wants to be seen with you. One wants to see into you. You are the prayer they wish they hadn't ignored. They think love will save them, but only presence can. You were the miracle they weren't ready for. God didn't hide you to hurt them. He hid you to restore you. One approaches with devotion, the other with a strategy. You were the truth that cost them their comfort. Both want a second chance. Only one deserves a beginning. Don't accept recycled love. Your glow is confusing them. They don't recognize your healed self. You once begged for a reply. Now they beg for your voice. If this touched your soul, don't scroll. Comment your favorite quote and subscribe for more.